Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Just answer with another video. Please subscribe before we go any further. Back again with another video. Another setting, as I said, I'm trying to shoot in different places. I've got a DJI now, so there's really no reason for me to only shoot in my space up there, so I can definitely shoot anywhere. And just wanted to talk about camera release, some of the camera that came out last year, and one of the decisions that really pushed me to get the camera that I'm about to get this year. Hopefully by somewhere around March, I should be getting my new camera. So Sony released the A7V and Canon released the R6 Mark III. And those cameras on paper really are pretty similar, bear the fact that Canon in terms of video can shoot a little bit more flavors in terms of format. But it can also shoot RAW internally, if I'm not mistaken. And you can shoot your 7K videos, which is amazing. It also does open gate. But one of the questions I was asking myself is in terms of choosing that camera or choosing my next camera, am I really going to be using a lot of those new flavors and a lot of those new features that I've been given or I've been put onto the camera on those cameras? Because let's say, honestly speaking, right, I am at a point in my career where most of my clients so far won't require me to shoot something like that. And a lot of my career, a lot of my clients I shoot for social, or I shoot for YouTube or for documentary stuff, or it's a wedding, and I don't do like two formats or anything like that. In most cases, if I shoot 4K for an event, I can always use the middle of the frame and deliver for social media and reels and stuff. And because the sensors nowadays are so sharp that you shoot in 4K, you don't need to have like all the vertical content that needs to be shot at like open gate 6K to definitely look good on social media. And everything on social media, when it's shot vertically, I don't even think that all of these reels and stuff that we watch on YouTube or Instagram or even TikTok have a certain resolution, or there's a resolution demand. Unless you're probably working like with a big agency, that's where you're going to be needed, something like that. So kit down, to be honest, just buy the kit of the year before, buy the previous kit, as I always say. But when it comes, for example, to the Canon, I think there's a big jump between the R6 Mark II and the R6 Mark III, because obviously those camera, even in terms of megapixels, from like 26, I believe, to like 33, 32.5 or 33, more or less. Obviously on paper, it looks like the R6 Mark III wins it all together. And if you were to buy a new camera, possibly, and if you are not really worried too much about money, I would advise anybody to buy the R6 Mark III. But if you're really worried about money and you want to keep some money for some lenses, I'll probably also advise people to buy the Canon and the Sony A7IV, because that's still a very good camera. You can shoot 4K 120, be it with a crop. You can shoot 4K 60, be it with a crop as well. But it's not like you shoot everything in 4K 60. Just maybe get a wider lens and you shoot 4K 60. There is no loss of quality per se. And Sony colors now are really way better than what they used to be. I'm a Canon shooter myself. A lot of my glasses are Canon. But one of the reasons I'm also considering Sony is because it's just so easy to adapt Canon glasses to Sony. By the time I start maybe buying my kit up for Sony, at the moment I'll still have like my 24-70 and my 70-200 with a Canon that I can just adapt to Sony. And with some of the adapters that I've done my research on, they work pretty much flawlessly. So that's not a big problem. So I've set up my mind to get a Sony A7V because I feel like there's not such a big gap between the A7IV and the A7V that came out. And there's quite a big gap between the A7IV and the Canon R5 Mark VI, but it's not too badly noticeable. And one thing I've also noticed about the South African market when it comes to video, when you present yourself with a Sony or a Canon, you are pretty much respected right away, which makes it really also a very good proposition. So my next camera I've set up in my mind will be a Sony A7V. Unless I'm really swayed and maybe like finance is super tight, that one I will probably downgrade all the way to like XM5, because that camera is also really good. I've used it and I can only say a good thing about it. And the image quality coming out of that camera, really good. And I think all the cameras nowadays should have 10-bit. One issue I had specifically with Canon, and I think they have rectified it, they have actually rectified it on all the camera that came out now, was the HDMI size. The HDMI it's just they were using a mini HDMI or micro HDMI, imagine, for all cameras. And I've said every camera that came out since 2020 or 21 should have had a full-size HDMI. Sony has been doing that for all the camera from like the A7 IV. I saw on the A7 IV, it's a full-size HDMI. I saw on the A7S III, that was a full-size HDMI. So all the camera that they've released, be it for some people that are in the middle professional or like pro, I've always had full-size HDMI. That was my biggest gripe with Canon, and they have now put it in all of the camera that they've released. I saw that on the R5 Mark II, that's a full-size HDMI. On the R6 Mark III, it's also a full-size HDMI. And I never understood why on the R5 and the R6 Mark I and II, they never put a full-size HDMI. Very, very crazy and unbelievable. So Canon is coming a long way in terms of mirrorless camera, and it's kind of a steady, and they're kind of catching up, to be honest. Now we're not even talking about autofocus anymore. We always knew Canon has really, really good autofocus. And cameras, technology has reached sort of a plateau. It's at a point where there is not much that can be really added in terms of value or new features, unless they start giving people internal 12-bit RAW. But I'm certain a lot of camera company won't be doing that because that will be cannibalizing their own cinema line. So at the moment, yeah, I think 10 bits is definitely enough colors. I'm shooting 10 bits with my DJI, so 10 bits is definitely enough colors when it comes to color grading. You have pretty smooth highlight transition and all of the shenanigans. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out and subscribe.